Hello friends, it's Erin, and it's been a long time since I've filmed a video for YouTube, but I have a few minutes and I thought that I would flip through my Hobonichi weeks for you, mostly because it's easy to do and because my other Hobonichi weeks flips are I think maybe the most popular of my videos. They seem to get a lot of attention. So, I am continuing. If you've seen one of those, and I'll link them. If you've seen those, then I want to go ahead and tell you that I am doing things a little differently this year because I have a separate work planner. And I can do a flip of that another time. But basically last year, it's right here. I kept up with everything in here, work and home, everything. So some weeks were very crowded and other weeks were not used as much, but I would just put lists of work stuff. Work stuff for me is having to do with my art. I have an Etsy shop. I sell artwork online, and more recently, I've started Patreon. So, and I'll talk to you more about that. But so this is this is full. This is more full. So this is going to look different because I'm only using this for home / like planning kind of, but more, it's been really more of a very loose memory keeper because I haven't been doing much planning, to be honest. And I'm still struggling with figuring out how to do planning based on home related things other than obviously like writing down birthdays or places we need to be, stuff like that. So that doesn't fill out a whole lot. So I just covered the end papers with some paper and put some stickers on there. I don't think I've flipped through this one yet. So my intention was to put my word of the year here, and I haven't done that. I still might. My word of the year is able, but I don't know why. I'm keeping up with some health related things here very loosely, not very well. And my monthlies are basically just birthdays at this point. So not a lot going on there. So this is the first week that I filled it in. So I started in November, the end of November, beginning of December. And so because it was last year, my work planner hadn't started yet. I was doing all the planning in here for the first month, and which means that it's more filled out. But I was still doing my kind of decorative things on the side, using a lot of different colors of ink, and having fun with it. Then of course the holidays things got busy and hectic. Okay, so I started Patreon at the beginning of this year. So January was my first month, and I worked on it leading up to January so that I would have stuff in there right away, kind of in between Christmas and New Year's. So that's some of this work here. And then I think, I don't know if you can tell, I do go back and fill it in, but I leave. I've just found that I struggle to keep up with this because I'm still not sure what to do with it. Or at least what to do with it to make it look as full as my older one. I just have less to put in here, and I'm very tempted sometimes to double up on work lists, or filling in on the days the work that I do, just as a way to keep those memories. But then I feel like I'm doing too much, like doubling things that I don't need to. But I don't know why. I've never worried about that before. It's good to write stuff down. So I think in general, since the beginning of this year, I have had a hard time planning in general, just like planning and keeping up with stuff. I had a good start in January, and then starting with February, I've just felt out of it. So a lot of this stuff, I went back in and filled it in. So one of my favorite things to do that I do on most of these pages is I just write a note to myself, like, hold on, it's gonna get easier, at least in some ways. So lettering is one of my loves, and I guess also just saying hopeful things is something true to me too. So hopeful and or truthful. And so I often will write kind of maybe the first thing that comes to mind when I have a blank page. I just sort of write something down. This week it was what's happening. So maybe not a really great week, but I try to keep humor with it. I think that helps me a lot. So these, let me see if obviously that's a lot of watercolor and some colored pencil doodles with a couple stickers. So not a whole lot there. But then some of these other things are in my Patreon, and maybe that's where it begins. These are from Patreon. So I wrote, this is what I need: time to myself, more sleep, peace and quiet. So there's not a lot. I think I just wrote some notes down about stuff happening and meals that we had. Usually when there's only one ink, it's because I filled it out at one time and probably backfilled it in. And I might have even decorated after the fact too. It's easy enough that it's small enough that it's easy to keep up with, even if I'm behind. And I rarely get more than a week behind. I don't let it go that long because it still feels important to me to have information in here. This is probably the first place I go to look to see what happened and look for information like that. So I do want to keep up with it somewhat. I've just found it really hard to keep up with things in general, like all things. So this is a sticker from Patreon. You might recognize it if you are familiar with my Etsy shop. I had these in kind of like a graphite color in there, but for Patreon, I colored them and gave them to my patrons. And then these date stickers are also from Patreon. So that's one of the things I like to use this for too, is just a place to use the things that I make, which is fun to do. Especially since I haven't been doing a whole lot of journaling outside of this. I've been making my artwork, and I've been reading a lot. And those have taken my time and attention away from journaling for a while, but because it's normal to go in different seasons, need different things, and that's where I'm at right now. So this is from Etsy, and this is from Patreon. It's an Etsy one. And of course I use some other people's stuff in here too. Random stickers and washi tape, and then this is pretty sparse. I think this is last week, and I just doodled, which was kind of nice. And this is this week. my son turned 5 yesterday, and then tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day, so it's kind of a fun page for that. And that's where we're at. So I'm gonna leave it there because I know my battery's gonna die soon, but I really just wanted to check in with you and tell you what's going on. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to film regularly again, and it might not be anytime soon, but I do want to pop in here now and then and tell you what's going on. I hope to film another video in the next week or so, or a couple weeks, where I just kind of give you an update on what I'm using. Like I said, I'm not doing a whole lot of journaling, but I am keeping up with a few books. And then I also have hopes to actually keep up with a couple others that I do deem important, but just haven't gotten a lot of love lately. So I'd love to know what's going on with you, as far as, are you finding you're loving your planners and journals? Are you struggling? Is it different than last year? Have things changed? Because I feel like a lot of the people that I follow and listen to, like on YouTube or wherever, talking about this stuff, it seems like a lot of people have changed as far as like what they're using, or the size that they're using, or what's working maybe is different. And I wonder if that's because we're beginning to come out of the pandemic and the world is changing again, or there's a lot of other stuff going on, or maybe we're just at the end of our rope. Like the world just doesn't let up, and so we're just exhausted. I don't know what the change is, but it does seem like a lot of people are changing. So tell me how it is for you. Are you doing the same thing? Is it working for you? Are you trying something different? And I'd love to kind of know, get some ideas of what's working, especially if you have ideas about home planning, if that works for you. Menus and cleaning and just general life stuff. Do you have a system for that? Because I need one real bad. So I hope you are well. I truly do. And I hope to see you and talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.